Hi everyone, it's Joe. Welcome to my channel, AGTV for Life. You may have watched my color wheel series video on the color green, which was the last video I posted, and here's the thumbnail. In that video, I mentioned a problem with Etsy. Not just myself, but many other Etsy shop owners are experiencing. And it's basically Etsy shops being hit with copyright infringement letters and removal of their listings. And there's a lot of information about who's being attacked all over Instagram. Here's the one I received. And to be honest with you, it's a pretty alarming letter. It's a little scary. They talk to you about copyright infringement and they send you all types of links to educate yourself on copyright infringement, the do's and don'ts basically. They tell you about the ramifications, such as the possibility of having your account suspended. They can remove your seller badge. And the sad part about all of this is that you are accused of doing something wrong when you didn't. So basically, you innocently, which seems appropriate, right? You used your American Girl doll that you purchased as models in your listings, and you're not supposed to. Who would have ever known? And who knows how wide the assault net is? And what's pretty ironic is that people are using American Girl dolls in their listings to promote the brand and the products that they're making. It's not to take away anything from the brand. And this bullying type of assault that's sort of like smacking you on the back of your head is unbelievable to me. A softer, gentler approach would have been so much better. Perhaps if American Girl brand, Mattel, whatever you want to call them, realized that this issue, or what they consider an issue, was happening, why wouldn't they post some type of communication to the American Girl community? I would imagine they have most of their customers' email addresses, right? I know I get all kinds of email from them, and let us know that they identified something that is a perceived problem, and folks that have Etsy shops are using their dolls in their listings, and maybe offer some guidance and tell us what to do. Take the faces out, don't reference American Girl brand unless you put the registered trademark logo next to it or whatever, but do something like that. That would seem so much more appropriate than blindsiding us and having our listings taken down. It just really upsets me, as you could tell in my voice, because my voice was pretty calm at the start of the video, but now I'm getting fired up. I really am, because it's just not right. I have 3 bags of recent purchases that I'll be taking right on back to the New York City store this weekend, because I have absolutely zero desire to open anything and enjoy it the way I normally do. My heart's not in it right now. And to make matters worse, you want to know what makes matters worse for me? Is that I am a Mattel shareholder. Yeah. I have had stock in Mattel for over a decade. I think I should attend the next shareholder meeting. It's just something that's blowing my mind right now. And don't get me wrong, I love the American Girl brand and Pleasant Rowland and what she created here. And you guys have seen my massive dollhouse, all the crap I have. I get tons of joy out of doing American Girl everything. I really do. Especially my crafting and what I sell on Etsy. I just love it. I do. But for today, my spirit is broken. And I'm going to do what makes me feel good. And that is to get this crap out of my house and play with what I have around here. And that's it. And hopefully Mattel will respond to this issue. And if they don't, as they say, time heals all wounds. But for today, my hard-earned money can be spent on other things rather than items sitting here in my house taking space until that time that I actually feel better and have recovered from this situation. I also want to share a couple of things with you in terms of Etsy, just in general, because I just think it's so ironic that we are being attacked, meaning anyone who has American Girl dolls in their listings or might be referencing the brand. So in 2023, Etsy had around 9 million active sellers. Imagine that, 9 million. And the 9 million span over 234 countries, with the majority of them based in the US. And from a buyer perspective, there are 96 million active buyers worldwide. Imagine that. So this is a large population of sellers and buyers. Now let's look at the three main categories. The first is handmade, right? That's the topic at hand here. Vintage and supplies. Well, supplies too. I guess patterns could fall into the supply section. And one of the most ironic things is that from a gender perspective, the majority of Etsy sellers identify as a woman. Imagine that. Now let's talk a little bit about something else that overlaps with Etsy and the small businesses that create shops using the Etsy platform. But before I do that, I need to back up a little bit. So backing up to an email that I received regarding the 2025 Girl of the Year event in New York City last weekend. So I received this email about summer's release and the brunch and everything else. And I was just so friggin' excited. I really was. I dressed up as my Yvette doll. I took her with me, and we both had the American Girl shirts on that we bought from the American Girl store. And we met with other people that I know, some I didn't know that I met, which was amazing. And we had a great brunch. And I, of course, spent a ton of money, which you already know. And it was great. It was pretty awesome. And as unbelievable as it sounds, I came home to find the copyright infringement letter in my email box. I posted the notification on my Instagram account just to see what others would have to say about it. And I received a lot of feedback, and I also found out that there were other Etsy sellers that received the same letter, and basically it was referencing the American Girl doll head. So at this point, I decided to connect with other Etsy sellers and hear their story or what was happening to them, and we banded together to start, and I believe it started before that, but I think it definitely got some traction after my posts, where I was asking people to share their thoughts with American Girl on their portal and how they felt about it. And so that was going on, and I was pretty active on Instagram for several days. And next thing you know, I was put in Instagram jail. I didn't even know such a thing existed, probably because I only post a couple of times a day, if that, on Instagram. But I guess I was pretty active from the 14th to the 17th, and they cut me off. They said, we've had enough with you. I put too much information out there. I was basically put in a timeout for 3 days, and I was able to get out on September 20th, which is today. I'm free, and I'm going to be good. Please don't put me back in Instagram jail. Oh my God. I have so many people writing to me and commenting on my post and other people's posts and tagging me, and I can't reply to anybody. I had to message them, and that was a whole nother production in itself. Anyway, why was I posting so much on Instagram? Because between me and other AGIGers, we were asking people to write to American Girl and express how they feel about this situation. Let them know. They need to hear it. They need to see that the activity that's coming through their online portal, the electronic form, is increasing, and that there are people out there in the world that are staunch supporters of their brand that are very upset by this latest situation, I'll call it. So anyway, as I was asking people to do it and other people were supporting in this effort, I've been collecting case numbers. So every time you go to the online form, you can submit a concern and you get a case number. So at this point in time, I'm not even going to tell you how many case numbers I have, but I'm going to use it as an addendum to a letter that I'm writing to American Girl. It's going to be a written letter that's going snail mail. Well, not really snail mail, but it's going in regular mail, but expedited this coming Monday. I already wrote to American Girl through their online portal and explained how I felt about this whole situation and asked them to help us and provide some guidance on what we can and can't do. Maybe a do's and don'ts type of thing. But don't abandon us and bully us into submission. Because I'm a believer that people who are using American Girl dolls as models in their Etsy shop, they don't have any ill intent. Let's just put it that way. And the way that this is happening, it's almost like we are out there doing something wrong, and we're not. And it's really sad because I'm not too sure how wide this assault is on Etsy sellers, and when's it going to stop? Does it stop at Etsy? Are they going to take it to Facebook? Are they going to take it to other forums? It's pretty awful. And by the way, if this ever happens to you and you get this message, if you press on let us know, nobody's getting back to you. Nobody is getting back to you, and they're not letting you get back on prior to the date your punishment is over. So don't try. I tried a couple of times. Didn't work. And while I've been in Instagram jail, I've done several things. I watched a fellow YouTuber's video on this topic, and I would encourage you to watch it too. I included a link directly to the video down below. Another thing I've been working on is updating all my listings, and I just wanted to show you how I did that within the Etsy app rather than recreating my photos in other applications, because otherwise this could be an extremely lengthy process. So let me show you what I did, and if this works for you, great. If not, no problem. I just wanted to share it with you because I know this is a very painful process. And by the way, I'm working off of an iPhone, and I don't know if what I have looks different on any other phones. So what you could do is just go to your Etsy app and go to your home page where it has a little house here on the bottom. So if you click on that, this will pop up, and then it will show you some of your store stats. The next thing you want to do is click on listings. And now you're on your listings page. So when you're here on the listings page, what you want to do is scroll through your listings, and this is where you can pick out the items that you want to modify. So what I'm going to do is locate a listing that I already dropped a picture of one of my dolls in, so I could show you this process. The listing that I'm going to use is this listing for doll wine. So it's a doll wine prop. And when you get to the page of your listing, what you want to do as a first step is check the title and make sure you don't have any reference to American Girl doll, Welly Wishes, or anything like that, or anybody's brand, I guess I would say, under the title. And if you do, all you have to do is click on the pen and modify it. So that's the first step. Now the next step is to check your pictures and make sure you don't have any of the American Girl doll faces, I guess, or at least this is my approach. I'm not saying it's a perfect approach, but this is what I did. So I removed the faces of any dolls that I had in my listings. So there's a couple of ways you can do that, and I'm going to show you. So here we're going to press on the photograph that I have circled in red. This is what's going to show up. And you want to click edit. Don't delete your picture, just click edit. And then once you press the edit button, this is going to pop up the whole picture, and on the bottom it will say transform or adjust. I clicked on transform, and when you do that, you'll be able to crop out the doll's head. So here you can pick whichever shape you want. I use custom, and then I pull the box down underneath the doll's face, and I end up with just the body. Assuming I wanted to keep this in the listing, which I'm not, I just put it here to show you the process. And that was it. Another thing you might be wondering is, well, what if I just want to shade out the doll's face because you have a hat on your doll or whatever? Maybe it's easier to do that. So if that's the case, you want to take a screenshot of the photo that you have in Etsy. And once you have the screenshot, you see that little pencil tip at the top, the third circle after the word done. You want to press on that. Once you press on that, this box at the bottom is going to pop up. And once you see these tools, these are called editing tools, you want to press on the plus sign. And when you press the plus sign, this menu will pop up. And then you want to click on the circle. And once you click on the circle, it's going to place a circle on your image. One thing I want to mention is that you can change the color of your circle. And if you click on any of the colors on the bottom, you'll get that color, obviously. If you click on the little circle next to the plus sign, a menu of color options will come up. And I selected this flesh color. I didn't want a circle outline. I wanted the circle to be filled in. So if you go all the way over to where you see the options pop up of the different types of circles here, and you click on that, you can get a completely filled in circle by pressing the solid black dot. And when you do that, it will fill in your circle just like this. Now, this isn't going to work for you, right? You're going to have to use those blue dots that are outside the perimeter of the circle and make the circle smaller and move it into whatever position works for you. In this case, I put it over the doll's face. And then your doll is all set and ready to get put back into your Etsy shop to show off whatever outfit she or he's wearing, because now you blocked out the face. And here's some examples of my doll faces. Here's my first example, and this one was a little tough because I have 3 different dolls. So when I added the circle to my picture, I just duplicated it and then I moved around the size. Here's my next guy that I erased his face with this white circle. Well, not exactly a circle, but you know what I mean, an oval shape. And here are a couple dolls modeling their Easter t-shirts. They're doing a matchy-matchy. I'm looking forward to my release from Instagram jail tomorrow because I have been getting many notifications and I can't reply to anybody because that's the way it is right now through tomorrow. I don't know if they're going to let me back on at 12:01 a.m. the 20th, which is only a few hours from now, actually, now that I look at my clock. Or if there's another time during the day that they're going to allow me back on. I don't know. I guess we'll have to see how that goes. I'm not too sure, but wish me luck. I will stay out of trouble because I don't want to be back in Instagram jail again because I really do like Instagram. The platform really does offer a lot of options to post pictures and reels and put something on your story or put your thumbnails for your YouTube videos up. It's really a great platform. I find it so much better than Facebook, to be totally honest with you. Speaking of Instagram, many of the Instagram supporters, I should say, of the American Girl brand have started this hashtag Faceless Not Voiceless, and they're attaching it to their posts and whatever else they find might be helpful to raise awareness. And here's just some of the pictures I lifted off Instagram to show you what people are doing in light of this unfortunate situation, I'll call it. So if you could join in and support us and use this hashtag for your listings, we would greatly appreciate it. If you enjoyed this video and feel like you learned something or you thought it was helpful to others, please give it a thumbs up. Let me know what you thought about it. Leave a comment. And if you haven't subscribed to my channel, I sure hope you do. All you have to do is press that subscribe button, notification bell, and you'll get an alert every time I post new content. Well, that's it for this video. Take care, and I'll see you over the weekend with another video.